This day has taken place. I passed the parade, which by all the canons of what is happening in LNB could not be. At least, all circumstances nothing helped, coronavirus, closed borders, crazy June heat. But to learn about the plans of the Republic's authorities, to watch Russian news to give this government a few days to think about it and, like echo, a little distorted but very recognizable to the same news in the local interpretation. And then began the grueling rehearsals for 6 to 8 hours daily. Near the military school, where the training took place, was on duty at the Too Quick because you bear all this in full gear, medical masks and rubber gloves could not all. For many of these rehearsals, he was still a test of endurance. And if in Russia our military personnel, cadets, and teach their people, who understand this, in Lugansk, everything is are unemployed, construction workers, taxi drivers, yesterday's miners. It is a way to show their skills, equipment, level of training, the number of soldiers. This is an opportunity to scare the enemy, a chance to show its power. Then there was a long break. First is that calendar holidays are simply not there, and after that has been quarantined. As elsewhere, at this time the cafe was opened, there were no concerts, no working cinemas, the opportunity to travel somewhere no one had. Therefore, this unplanned output to the square, took a lot of people just look to be among people, to emotional discharge. And as the man was not belief, technique and scale of the festival left no one indifferent. We see all the local military, primarily as people in the neighborhood who rush home in normal clothes. So, we know they serve, but through the millstones of local armies were hundreds of those who just needed to feed my family. And this parade showed that there is another person, troops, a festive, ceremonial, toned. And it certainly struck, because just as army all these different people and many did not perceive. Over 100 pieces of military equipment for the parade was struck by the fact that no way all that wasn't captured weapons, pressed in the Ukrainian army, says local legend. Military with the foot of the columns were removed, the gear already in the bus that was very reminiscent of the buses touring pop stars who dress like on the go. It is noteworthy that many of them were dressed in military uniforms of soldiers of the Soviet army in the Second World War. War and memory of the war acquired the scale of a huge carnival, when, under the pretext it introduced the idea of militarization of society. And the definition of the struggle against Nazism increasingly fits all does not correspond to Russian ideology. But to be here for many is also a burden. Life is not implementing the rights and freedoms of the individual, makes it impossible to live a normal life, it is often equated with existence.